What's good, my tech friends? This is the one tech boss. So today we're going to be talking about the Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max. So you guys know the iPhone 12 lineup has came out from Samsung. From Apple, and they look absolutely amazing. Anyway, today we're going to be focusing on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We're going to be talking about the top features of this device, and I'm going to be telling you guys what's amazing about the device and kind of pinpoint the most important thing about the phone that's really good. Anyway, kicking it right off, number one, the design. The design of the phone is absolutely phenomenal, and you guys know that it's got that kind of like, how can I describe it? It's got that flat back and front, and the side is flat, and the top and bottom is flat as well. So it's got that kind of right angle kind of look to it, kind of like boxy kind of look to it, dating from I think the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5 as well. So it's exactly the same design. They brought it down to the iPhone 12 lineup, which for some people it's a hit and miss. For me, it kind of looks cool. It's a nice concept that it brought back that design back, but they should have made it as a one-off kind of phone, but not the whole iPhone 12 lineup. It just makes the phone look kind of old, but then it looks a little bit modern. But I'm not sure. I think I have mixed feelings about it. It looks nice, but it just reminds me of a phone that came out like 10, 15 years ago, which is, yeah, not really my kind of thing. Anyway, moving right along, the second top feature on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the image sensor, and oh my god, absolutely amazing. I don't know how they've pulled it off, especially still running that 12 megapixel camera in the phone as well. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max actually has a 7% larger image sensor than the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro, which is really good. It lets more light in, and it makes your pictures and video looks absolutely more crisper and so much more nicer to look at. But there is a little bit of testing I've watched on YouTube, and the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro actually outperforming the 12 Pro Max, but I'm not sure if that's because of lighting situations or settings, or I don't know, but I'm not gonna get into that at all. But yeah, anyway, and because the sensor on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is 7% much more larger than the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro, the camera module is actually slightly a little bit bigger. So if you look at the iPhone 12 Max side by side with the iPhone 12 or the iPhone 12 Pro, you'd actually see a little difference with the camera. So the camera modules is going to be a little bit more bigger, and the bump on the back of the camera is going to be just slightly a little bit more raised up than obviously the 12 and the 12 Pro. Third on my list is the battery life. The battery life on this phone is just absolutely amazing. You know what they say, the bigger the phone, the bigger the battery life in the phone, which is going to be awesome. So the fact that the phone is bigger means there's more space to put in a bigger battery in the device, which is nice. Gives them more juice to last you throughout the whole day. So the battery in this phone is actually wireless charging capable, so you can actually wirelessly charge this device. Finally, Apple is actually keeping up with the trend, which is quite nice to see. And also USB-C lightning charging port capable as well, so you can actually use a USB-C cable to actually charge the new iPhone 4, the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is absolutely awesome, because so many people that has iPhone come to me or come to my house and they say they need a charger. I'm like, sorry bro, I don't have a lightning cable. So the fact that they've changed it to the USB-C, it feels so much more better. So I can be like, you know what, here you go, USB-C, because the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra that I'm using right now has I have to use USB-C to charge the phone up, and my tablet as well, and most of the devices I have in the house uses Type-C. So yeah, it's quite nice that they've implemented that in the iPhone, which is very, very nice. 20 hours watching time on the phone and 12 hours streaming time, well, streaming videos on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you stream your videos from, and 80 hours of audio streaming as well. So things like Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube Music, things like that. You got 80 hours streaming time on there as well. Anyway, moving on to something that's very, very nice from Apple, which is the telephoto lens, or the Tele Lens. So the Tele Lens has a 64 millimeter it's got a 64 millimeter telephoto lens, which means that it has a 2.5 times optical zoom instead of a 2 times zoom, which you get with the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro. And also it has up to 12 times digital zoom as well, and which is nice because on the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro you get only 10 times digital zoom in there, which is quite nice because obviously if you want to zoom in and you want more of a zoom, you got that extra reach with that extra times zoom that you have with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is very, very nice. And also we have a 7 times zoom, 7 times digital zoom in video mode as well, unlike the 6 times zoom which is on the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro. So for when you're taking videos and you're zooming in, you got that extra reach for extra reach zoom for obviously when you're videoing as well. But I mean, who zooms right up close when you're recording something on video? The footage won't be usable at all because there's going to be a lot of noise in that video. So get closer to your subject when you want to record, unless you're in a stadium and you can't. Anyway, my most favorite thing about this iPhone 12 Pro Max, actually my personal favorite, is the Apple Pro RAW, which means you can record and take pictures manually, just like you do on a DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera or any camera. You can actually go in the settings and set the camera to whatever you want to be able to take pictures or take videos instead of it actually automatically doing it, which is pretty cool. And this feature can also be turned off and on in the camera app, which is cool. And also it has an additional this Apple Pro RAW basically as an additional detail to the highlights and the shadows. And the Apple Pro RAW basically means C-Log for the Canon and S-Log for the Sony cameras, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what it means pretty much. So Apple is calling theirs Apple Pro Log, and there you can shoot RAW and you can go to post and you can color grade the hell out of it and make it look however you want it with different colors and just make it look very, very nice. Right over to the RAM. RAM is what makes a tech. It keeps everything organized, it keeps everything flowing. And yeah, the iPhone 12 Pro Max actually is the first Apple phone to have a 6 gig RAM in it. Wow. Well done, Apple. Well done, Apple. You've smashed it again. Just like you smashed it with the wireless charging. Beautiful. Anyway, this means that no matter what apps you're running and you've gone off and you've run another app and you've gone off it, it doesn't matter. When you go back on that app, it's going to remember where you've left off on that app, and you can still continue basically. So some phones that doesn't have a lot of RAM, if you go on one app and you come off it, go on another app, then you go back to that previous app, it starts you all over from the beginning, which is quite annoying, especially if you want it to be saved and your phone to remember where you were at that precise moment before you have to go to another app. It doesn't, it just starts you over from the beginning. But yeah, with this iPhone 12 Pro Max, it retains its memory, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's really good for when you have a lot of apps open It keeps everything nice and flowing proper, and yeah, it doesn't lag. It just speeds everything up. And also adding it on with the A14 processor in there as well, the newest processor, which makes everything really fast and really sharp and snappy, and it just gives you more of a nice experience using the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is very nice. Anyway, so it's really good for multitasking as well, which is absolutely awesome. Also, one more thing I want to speak about is the ISO, or the ISO. Well, ISO, I mean, it is ISO, so ISO. But yeah, going back to the camera side of things, the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro top ISO is at 7616, and the top ISO on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is 5808, which means this phone performs way more better in low lighting than the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro, which is nice, especially when you're shooting outside and it's dark, and it's dark and there's no enough light. So the camera, especially when you're shooting manually as well, and you crank that ISO up really high, is gonna bring in a shoot more of light inside your camera lens, so your subject, whatever you're taking a picture of, comes out more clearly, and there's more light in there. But just to warn you, the more ISO you bump it up to, the more grainier and more noise you're gonna get with your picture. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed the video of me talking a little bit about the top features on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, please don't forget to smash that like button, also smash the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on, because boy oh boy, there's gonna be more and more Samsung, more and more iPhone 12 lineup related videos on this channel. So yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys later.